Good afternoon
from Antigua. As mentioned in our previous video, the main reason that we are actually here is not just to enjoy the sights and sounds of this beautiful city. It turns out that there is an epic volcano hike up one of the major volcanoes called Acatenango, and the aim is to do that over the next few days.
So why is this a big deal? Acatenango Volcano is one of the most famous and popular volcanoes to hike in Guatemala. Aside from being a challenging hike, it is renowned for its stunning views of the surrounding area, as well as providing an amazing opportunity to see Fuego, one of the most active volcanoes in the world.
Guatemala has 263 volcanoes packed into its modest landmass. Of those, Acatenango is the third highest, standing at a height of 3,976 meters, just over 13,000 feet. For context, that is the height of nearly 5 Burj Khalifas, 9 Empire State Buildings, or 22,000 bananas. You know, just in case you ever felt like stacking that many.
Thankfully, though, the hike does not start all the way at the bottom. The first part of the expedition involves being taken to the official trailhead in the village of La Soledad, which stands at 2,400 meters. From there, we'll hike through various types of terrain, ascending to 3,600 meters or 11,811 feet before staying at base camp overnight.
From there, we'll be getting up crazy early to then climb the final part of the volcano in time for sunrise, before then making our way back down to La Soledad.
For this day-and-a-half expedition, we have chosen to go with the company OX or OX. We are not sponsored. We are just going to share our experience with them. It has cost us $99 per person.
And the first part of this expedition is to go to a meeting which is going to discuss the itinerary ahead. So let's go.
Just casually signing our life away, as you do.
So even if you have a rain jacket, guys, please take a poncho with you.
One of the really cool things about going with this company is that they actually provide a lot of rental gear as well, and that's great because we are not suitably equipped for this kind of thing. So they provide us with a headlamp, a sleeping bag liner, because hygiene's important, a rain poncho. This is definitely way more heavy duty than anything you buy at a gift shop, a fleece, a heavy duty windbreaker jacket, which will be very useful because it gets really, really cold up at the top. And last but not least, a big rucksack to take all of this stuff in.
Now we gotta pack it all up.
Yeah.
We are now back at home after the meeting. We swung by the supermarket on the way because we were told that you need to bring quite a lot of water and also provisions for some snacks, so we've taken care of that now.
So far, the company seems to be super organized. The meeting was very thorough. They went over all the supplies that they provide, all of the equipment that we need to bring. They detailed the different sections of the hike tomorrow, how long each of them will take, how steep or flat, but not really ever flat, it will be, the elevation and the timings for breaks and snacks and meals and what each one of them will include. So I'm really happy that they're very detail-oriented seemingly and very organized, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I do think that this is going to be a very challenging hike. It's rated hard. I think a lot of it is going to be very steep, and I really just hope that we're prepared. I kind of feel like we're just pulling together items of clothing that we have and making do. And also, we haven't done any exercise recently because obviously we're on the road, so I don't know what our fitness levels are like. And
I mean, we did Indian Nose like just a few days ago, so I feel like that was actually very good preparation, all things considered.
I don't know how I'm going to feel if it's 5 or 6 hours of Indian Nose, because 2 hours of that was about all I could take. And with this, we've decided to not hire porters because it's 200 quetzals on the way up and down per person. That just doesn't fit our budget. And the last time I did a big hike was Machu Picchu, and for that we definitely did have porters. Mind you, we were carrying a lot more then. But yeah, I guess those are the reasons why I'm nervous.
I feel better for knowing what's coming, but I also feel worse for knowing what's coming. I feel the same level of trepidation that I think I did for Tongariro Alpine crossing. I'm preparing myself for what's probably going to be referred to as type B fun, in that it's going to be absolutely awful while you do it, but once you've done it, it's going to be the best thing in the world, and you're going to tell all your friends that you have to do it. So I feel like it's going to be very much that kind of experience. It's going to be hard. I'm not under any illusions about that, and this is why I think I'm probably over-preparing and just making sure I have literally everything I need because I don't want to be caught out. But I think the great news is, like, we've booked with a company that seems to really know their being. They definitely made me feel a lot calmer and like I'm in very good hands with it. And so as far as that goes, then that is definitely cause for comfort. But I guess, we will find out how it all goes when we start.
And we do have an early start at that. It is 6:30 in the morning that we have to meet at their office. So we are going to pack up all of our stuff here at the Airbnb, eat some dinner, and get an early night.
So we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning.
Good morning from Antigua. It is about 6:20 in the morning, and we are about to head over to Ox Expeditions to meet up with our group and guides that are going to be taking us to Acatenango Volcano.
Here we go. This is heavy.
We're all loaded up and headed to breakfast.
After a delicious breakfast, we are now all fueled up for our hike. Let's hope that we have enough energy for this.
Also, we weren't going to hire porters. That was our decision last night. And pretty much everyone in our group hired a porter. So we were peer pressured into hiring a porter because we don't want to be the stupid ones carrying heavy backpacks. So that is 200 quetzal per person. And I do think we're probably going to be really thankful that we made this decision.
100%. Honestly, just putting those on to put them onto the bus felt super heavy. So having to carry that for a solid 6+ hours wasn't going to be the most fun.
And considering this hike is rated hard, I think it's going to be steep and it's going to be just difficult enough getting ourselves up there in altitude.
Yep. But now it's time to get back on the bus.
All right, let's get going.
After about 20 minutes of hiking, we've made it to our first rest stop, and that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was kind of loose gravel, but the speed was really manageable. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it could have been a lot worse, but thankfully the pacing was really good and it felt like everybody could kind of manage it. So I hope that we don't get too many more sections like that along this hike, but certainly for now it's okay.
I think you're kidding yourself. And this is our new friend Audrey from California. What did you think?
No, similar things. I'm a little sick right now, so my throat hurts, but that's it. Like, I feel good and sweaty.
We got this. We got this, guys.
You do it. We've just paid 50 quetzals each to do this section of the volcano. Apparently there's going to be a later section of the volcano where we'll need to pay an additional 50 quetzals per person.
Our guides told us that this was the most difficult section of the hike today. It was a little bit steeper and there were stairs, and it was definitely noticeably a little bit more challenging the first part, but still very manageable, and they're really setting a nice and steady pace.
Definitely, they're really trying to make sure that everybody who has signed signed up for this can do it. So it definitely feels a bit less intense than what we did at Indian Nose. But I feel like because we're going to be doing this for quite a long time by comparison, then it'll probably end up feeling about the same when we get to the end.
The nice thing about this hike is that we're getting a lot of breaks. This is our third break, and that section was full of a lot of switchbacks. Fun, very manageable.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. We were told that the farming section was definitely one of the most intense, and don't get me wrong, it's not like this wasn't, but certainly the gradient was a little bit less, and the switchbacks were very straightforward, and there was a lot of room to put your feet as well, and the ground was way more solid, so yeah, that felt a lot better.
And the cloud forest wasn't bad either.
No, definitely not.
Audrey has an answer.
My fitness goal was reached today. That never happens, and we haven't even finished hiking.
Yeah, that was just like an hour and a half at most, so
Exactly.
10,000 steps, baby.
Oh yeah. We're now at our fourth break station, and apparently this is the last place that you can buy stuff before you make it to the top of the volcano. So with that then, got a Coke because I figured I needed a bit more energy and caffeine, and Rachel's done the same thing, but she's got a kind of half and half hot chocolate and coffee, so a mocha of sorts. Honestly, I feel like it's still kind of around the same gradient that it has been ever since we hit the cloud forest. I think the only thing that may be a little bit of difficulty with now and then is just because I'm focusing so hard and putting one foot in front of the other, I'm not appreciating just how beautiful the scenery is here, because it is stunning. So I think as we progress through this next section, I'm going to really try and do a more concerted effort of looking around a bit more.
And I think that our next stop is already lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're making good time because it's like 10 to 12.
This has exceeded my expectations so far, not just in terms of how nice it's been, but also in terms of my own personal fitness. I thought I'd be struggling so much harder, but actually it's been okay.
We're stopping here for lunch. It is 12:35 and they have packed us these humongous sandwiches. It's kind of crazy because we hike for about half an hour at a time, and whenever you feel like, oh, you know, I could really use a break now, it comes up. So they've planned this perfectly. After lunch, the terrain really changed. It was mostly flat, and any hills that we did encounter were very gentle ascents and descents. So that was a much welcome change. But we have made it to camp, and about 15 minutes before we did arrive, we had to pay our second 15 quetzal per person entrance fee. But we did it. I think it only took us 5 hours, so not too bad. It was just way easier than I thought it would be.
Absolutely. Even though it was easier than expected, it definitely doesn't take away anything from the sense of achievement. That was awesome. I'm super proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Good job. But now that we're here, I'll show you around the camp. Welcome to the cabin.
These are our roommates for the night.
Yep.
Bruno, Femke, and Yasser. We're going to get to know each other very well.
I don't snore, just to be sure. I hope nobody snores here.
We definitely don't. So
We love that.
I'll tell you what though, these camping mattresses are really nice. So
I think it's going to be better than a hammock.
Oh, most definitely.
This is the common area where we come to eat. Time for some homemade hot chocolate and apple bread. Just sitting down to dinner, and it is pasta with a tomato-based sauce, and they've also got a little bit of bread and some cheese available as well.
We have a 3 a.m. wake-up call tomorrow morning, so after what has turned out to be an absolutely fabulous day, a delicious dinner, and we got to meet some awesome people, we are going to get ready for bed now. So I guess we're saying good night and see you in the morning. Good morning. It is just past 3 a.m. and I didn't sleep a wink, even though it was perfectly comfortable and warm. What about you?
I think I got a couple of cycles in, but then it started feeling a little bit cold for me, but it is what it is. Don't feel particularly well rested, but there we go.
It is pitch black, so we're probably not going to be able to get much footage in of our hike up Acatenango Volcano, but we will definitely get views from the top because we are going to be able to watch the sunrise, and we will definitely let you know what the hike up was like. That was the hardest thing I've ever done, or at least it feels like that right now, but I'm sure that these views are going to be totally worth it. That was way harder than yesterday. It was steeper, there was way more loose soil, so it was more slippery, and at the end there were a lot of rocks, so we kind of had to boulder a bit, but after 2 hours we made it.
We did. We've done it, babe. I'm so proud of you. Great job.
Okay, let's watch the sunrise.
was probably one of the most spectacular things I have done and probably ever will do in my life. Obviously, it was a very arduous hike to get up there. There was a lot of very difficult terrain to try and negotiate. But once you get to the top, it was crazy because we went up there and it was just nothing but cloud cover. We could see barely 10 meters in front of you. But then all of a sudden, within about 10 minutes, everything just cleared. And you could just see for kilometers away, even to the Pacific Ocean. And you just got some of the most spectacular views of the sunrise. This was truly spectacular. I'm so glad we did this.
It was one of the most amazing sunrises I've seen in my life. And yeah, it was crazy how quickly it went from darkness to light. And that was, I think, because of the cloud. Because as soon as the cloud passed by, it was sunrise. And we had just the most incredible views of Fuego and some of the other volcanoes that are close to Antigua. It was absolutely amazing. So worth the effort. But now it is breakfast time.
Cannot wait for some food and some coffee.
After a delicious breakfast, we are now heading back down the mountain. But this time we have our own packs on. Do you want to give us a spin, babe? Apparently, it's a slightly different route and should only take us about half the time.
Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now. You did it! Congratulations! Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you.
We've just got back to the Airbnb. This is the same one as we stayed at while we were in Antigua before we did this expedition. The expedition was absolutely awesome, but also exhausting. My knees are so sore, and same with my toes because they kept jamming into the tops of my shoes. The descent, while not as hard on your lungs, is really hard on your knees and joints, which is just typical of any descent. And I'm sure it wasn't helped by the fact that we were carrying our own packs this time because we chose not to have porters on the way down. But what an awesome day and a half. Highly recommend Ox Expeditions. They are professional, organized, fun. It was just such a great time, and the physical effort is 100% worth the views at the top.
I can only agree with that. And to add to Rachel's various ailments, I also ended up having very sore knees. I think I ended up accidentally popping my shoulder out temporarily as we were making the ascent up to the summit as well. And I've now got blisters from holding on to the poles too tight. But at the end of the day, such is this experience, especially coming from two people who are quite inexperienced when it comes to this kind of stuff. But at the end of it all, every single ounce of effort was 100% worth it. The experience of being able to climb through all of those different terrains and also being able to even just experience climbing up a volcano, let alone one of the tallest in the world, and getting to see sunrise from the crater summit was just magical. I can't really put any other word to describe it than that. It really was a truly unique experience as far as we've gone, and while we are not necessarily in a rush to do it again, because it hurt, we would recommend that if anybody's looking for a slightly more unique experience and something that they will never forget and is truly once in a lifetime thing, then definitely hiking Acatenango is up there.
And the people on our trip, like our group, was so good. We really bonded. And I don't know, it seemed like the tour guides were having a really good time with us. So it was just a great experience all around. After yesterday, I thought, oh, this is easier than it seems, because I think I built it up in my mind to be so much more difficult, and it really wasn't. But summiting the volcano, that's where the challenge is.
Yeah.
I think today I have over 20,000 steps just from summiting the volcano and from descending, whereas yesterday I had about 18,000 steps just from going up. But that doesn't even make any sense because, I mean, I definitely did more than 2,000 steps going up the volcano and coming down. So who knows? Are Fitbits accurate? I'm not sure.
But at the end of the day, it is definitely something that does challenge you, and it makes you work for every single inch. But again, the sense of accomplishment that personally I feel, and I'm sure you do too, you can't take that away from anybody.
It's a mental and physical challenge, actually, because that's the thing, is sometimes you feel like you can't do it physically, but it's actually a mental hurdle because you really can push your body to do more than you think you can.
100%.
That being said, we are taking the rest of the day off. We're doing nothing.
Yeah.
We're going to lie down, and we need showers desperately.
Yes, after having just had one solitary thought of putting one foot in front of the other, my new solitary thought is, God, I need a shower. So I think that's what we're going to do post-haste.
So we will pick this up on our travel day tomorrow.
And we'll definitely be taking you along for that. So until next time, take care.
And keep smiling.